Say hello.
Hello.
Do that again.
Hello. Hello. Very white.
We have him here. He's certainly not caged, but he is sitting in the chair.
Put your little panties off and military, baby. Sounds better on microphone, actually. Yeah, my voice. I should walk around with like a PA strapped to my back.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds so much better.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Something else to add to your show.
In real life, it sounds like a Lord of the Rings or something, but
only if you wear the cloak. I mean, in real life, you'd have to have that costume also. Like and you don't have the cloak and the beard yet. Are you still breathing fire?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've had some accidents, burned down a few places, so we kind of and since that stuff happened in New York and the stuff with that Orange or whoever it was, or whoever it was. That metal band, we
that was
stopped.
the Great White thing. I think that was in Connecticut. I think.
Yeah, but that was just we got too careless and easy with it. But we pull out all the cheap stunts to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Last night we played with a band who was breaking out all the theatrics, the juicing and cutting their heads and shit or stuff like that. So it was entertainment, and that's what it's all about, entertainment. So my guest is Jerry A. from Poison Idea, and you guys played in Philadelphia last night. Mm-hmm.
How was the show?
It was really good. It smelled like Philadelphia. It was nice. I loved it. It's like history. You can just smell the history in the city, and it's beautiful. I love the East Coast because it's like so many ghosts. The West Coast is like the last frontier, and you can't go any further unless you want to go to like Iceland or something. But that's as far as we pushed all of us. And but here is just so much history, and it's great. It just reeks of spirits and
awesome.
bad karma.
Well, welcome to the East Coast then, and thanks for coming, and thanks for they're squeezing in. Jerry is squeezing in this FMU appearance in between the drive. You're actually playing in Quincy, Massachusetts tonight at the President's Rock Club. So thank you for making the time to do that. And then
thank you for telling me where we're playing. I forgot.
And Friday you'll be in Hartford, Connecticut at the Webster Underground, and then you've got 2 shows in New York on Saturday. There's a daytime show at St. Vitus in Brooklyn. That's a 3 p.m. show, and then there's a nighttime show at Cake Shop. So anybody local. So how was it that you ended up deciding to do these East Coast shows?
Well, we were going to play this festival last year, fly out and do this TNT festival, and we had some problems. I stepped on some glass and didn't tend to my infection, and it spread, and I almost got my leg amputated, and so we had to cancel some shows, and it just took us this long, basically. Seriously, I've only been walking since like Christmas. That was my Christmas to start walking again. So now I'm running, and we're trying to run to as many shows as we missed. So we're trying to make up for lost time, just because we're going to do it while we can. And so we're just basically doing a favor for canceling last year.
Oh, well, and it's completely understandable that you injured yourself so badly, and so thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course, thank you. So seriously, we were excited to play last year, and that happened, and I was, like I say, I had to be hospitalized in Prague and flown straight back. So the ambulance was waiting straight to the hospital and stuff. But
wow,
I would love to do it last year or the year before or whatever. But now we're in fighting shape, and so we're back, and we're just happy. A lot of the bands that we loved and stuff are from the East Coast, and obviously the influences and all the. This is the Viva la rock and roll, New York and New Jersey, the centers of the universe.
I love that you include New Jersey, probably just because you're sitting here. However, but we can hold our own sometimes. I've got some questions from listeners, if you don't mind answering a few of them. Did you play with the Wipers?
You know what? we played twice with the Wipers. Once when we were first starting, and we were like barely had any songs, and Greg thought it was like the cool thing to get this band that never played before to open for him. And then once when like TSOL came to Portland, they were trying to like fill the bill, and for some reason they got the Wipers, who I think should headline over TSOL or whoever, myself, anybody except maybe the Stones or somebody. And so it was like us and the Wipers and this California band, and so we played like twice with them. Yeah, but I've seen them many times. There was like my first show I ever went to when I was a kid, like whatever, 15 or whatever, was their first show. They just came up from Florida.
Wow.
So they opened for like this industrial band and this like Sex Pistols cover band in this like old club, and that was their very first show. And all these people were like, "Who are these guys?" Right away. The guy's left-handed, so right away he had like a handicap. It's like people rock against left-handed people.
And what was your impression? I mean, did you get it? Did you see that Greg Sage was really like head and shoulders in terms of material?
Oh, it was great. Yeah. They just totally smoked on the whole evening. It was like, it was downhill from there. But yeah, and they just did their thing in Portland and took it wherever, but stuff. Yeah, there's like there's so many bands that it's like, I don't know who controls the industry or whatever, but there's so many really, really good music. It's like makes you cry. It's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And you never hear of this stuff, It's
right.
It's like Beyonce or whatever. It's like, what the hell, It's like it's like it's like, who's pushing the buttons on this one, It's like, but there is some really, so yeah. It's like, maybe when he dies, maybe they'll give him a.
Well, that doesn't do anybody any good, does it?
Yeah, statue makers.
One listener wants to know whose record collection was on the cover of Record Collectors Are Pretentious.
Yeah, that was Pig Champions. It was at our house, in his house where we practiced and stuff. Yeah, those were all
awesome.
All those records, yeah.
Wow.
Just a scattering at the time. We didn't really like collect records. We just got what we liked, and it was great. We didn't like. If there was like one of 100 pressings, like there was like opportunities for that stuff, like whatever, half Japanese, but he Tom didn't like that, so he wouldn't buy that. But whereas our tastes were different,
right?
So he just bought basically what he liked to listen to, so he would grab whatever.
So was the title of that directed at a certain type of collector? Was there like a faction in Portland, or?
It's kind of it's kind of was getting that way at that time, and it still kind of is, where they're just kind of they're just snobby people, just do with whatever cuisine, film, art, records. There are snobby record collectors who are like just like unbelievable. It's like,
right, who'll never go to a live show.
right.
It's like eating a menu.
That's sad.
And cool. And then for me, what's the most success that Poison Idea has had, like over the years? What would you say was, and it may or may not be a good moment, but success, popularity?
Well, I mean, people measure success differently, like my ex-wife, and who's my partner now, she has, her idea of success is being able to pay rent and pay the band room and that's, and getting paid. And my idea of success is having 200 kids go bananas, like jumping around.
Okay.
She's like, well, but you didn't get paid. I'm like, but
doesn't matter.
There were people there going absolutely singing along to every song and going nuts. And so, I mean, I don't know what's like the biggest check we ever got.
Well, but if you're going to go by your measure, then what's the biggest show you ever played?
Well, we played, festivals and big stuff like that. But I don't know, just being we played like 2 weeks ago in a basement in a house in Portland, and it was packed basement full of kids. It was great.
Do you prefer smaller venues personally? Is it a connection thing or a danger thing?
I don't know. I don't like, like the big things with the barriers and stuff. I don't care for this, sometimes the security, and I don't like seeing people get hurt. But that's going to happen going to the grocery store, So
Right. It might happen a little bit more going to see Poison Idea, though.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah. We've shut down some venues before because people have like lawsuits from like getting so badly hurt, and that's really sad, and but like I say, I saw a girl get hit by a bus,
Right. Oh yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, but it's just I guess the draw the the card, but damn, I guess success. I don't know. I don't know. Having a bunch, getting old and having a bunch of people give you props about like saying, oh, we listened to you when we were kids, and now we're like famous rock stars, and so we're gonna play your song as a
wow.
tribute, So that's like, oh, thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's success.
Well, that's kind of, I mean, success might be sort of a trigger word, but in terms of what really matters to you, is it the songwriting? Is it the performing? Is it connecting with people? Is it blowing fire in people's faces? I mean, whatever. What's really, why are you touring in 2013?
Well, there's sometimes where it really didn't happen for a long time at first, but it's like there are moments where you feel like you're like, where you're like leaving your body and stuff, and you're like, like the first time I ever played with Pig Champion, his band was playing, and the singer shot himself accidentally, and so he was off stage, and so he like grabbed me and got me on to sing, and it was kind of like Cajun, like Haitian voodoo stuff. It was like just working up this frenzy where it was like this, like the beat and the music and the rhythm, and when we were like flipping around like back in the day, and he goes, I swear I saw you levitate, man, off the stage, like you were levitating. And I go, I thought that too when we were playing, and the stuff was going. It was like magic. It was like, invoking some spirits that I don't know nothing about, but I just know they're strong, and it was like taking hold of my soul and making me scream hallelujah,
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And so that stuff's like you can't package that or market that, and it's just like something that you got to see to believe, So it was crazy, and.
So then the reputation that Poison Idea has in terms of, the bloody stuff and the fire and the violence and all that, is most of it really just sort of spur of the moment? Like, I know that you obviously know how to breathe fire safely, but in terms of just doing it, it's less of a show and more of an impulse?
Yeah. Well, it used to be like kind of shtick, just like we do it. But like I say, since all that tragedies happened with those bands, you got to watch out and stuff.
Right.
Like the last time we played in New York, we did this thing at the Pyramid Club, and we caught the ceiling on fire. And there was one exit, one entrance, one door, and the ceiling was on fire, like burning, and it could have so easily spread.
Yeah.
And burnt, and it was really careless. So I've kind of like toned down the stuff and the blood and stuff too, since the whole crisis with whatever hepatitis and crazy things coming out. I don't want, it's just not healthy, I think, for people to be smearing, feces or blood and stuff on each other. Whatever. I'm cool with it, but save it for special occasions, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we should have like a big rubber.
Big parties. the bloody feces twister that we're gonna play.
Yeah, the festivals. Bloody feces festival.
Awesome. Is this our incarnation of Poison Idea writing music?
Yeah. We just went in the studio and did like about 2 months ago. We were gonna do this split with this band from Norway, Turbo Negro.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like going to cover one of our songs, and we were going to do one of theirs. So we went in and kicked it off and just did a couple days or whatever, and did their song and got it down. And now we went to everyone was like, yeah, it's ready to go, let's do it. So we hustled as fast as we could and learned this and did it. and now it's like, you know, for those guys, it's like, well, maybe one of, you know, talk to their man, and he'll talk to his man, and then you can talk to the band, and then maybe you can do lunch, and then maybe you can, I was like, you're kidding me.
Right.
You're kidding me. I mean, I think that's where everything went wrong as far as everything about the music. You know, it's like, I should be able to call, you know, Hank like I used to be able to, or you know, Tom, and talk to him on the phone like I used to be able to.
Right.
But, you know, popularly, you have some lunatics calling him and saying he's going to whatever, you know. People ruin everything. Thanks a lot, guys.
And would you say that punk still exists?
Well, you know, if there was a definition in the dictionary, people would keep crossing it out and rewriting it over and over because it changed from what I, you know, was originally. It's like freedom of speech, freedom of thought, you know, live your life, no rules, you know, be your own boss, be your own God, blah, blah. And just, you know, and, you know, be open-minded, but don't hurt anybody, you know. And then, you know, it's changed. You know, there's hardcore, and there's you know, there's punk, whatever, Green Day, you know, that one horrible band, some 51 or whatever. That's punk rock, man. Or what's her name? That little girl with the, you know, Avril Lavigne.
Oh, right.
She's punk rock. She's punk. Miley Cyrus, punk rock. Like, see the show TV. I'd be like doing something, say, blah, blah, punk rocker Miley Cyrus, and I'd look up, what? Who? And I was like, that's punk rock? I'm like, whoa, it sure's changed.
Right.
I was like, damn.
It has. Well, it's funny, right? It's like, you know, and years ago, if you said it, people actually were frightened.
Right. Yeah, it's not the same, you know. It used to be when, you know, when I was like in my younger days, when I was partying a lot and stuff, I could see anybody who looked like what a punk rocker would look like, and you would know he would be your compadre.
Absolutely.
And you would approach him and say, hey, where can I buy a beer or whatever, and he would know. And now you see somebody like that, and it's just like, you know, mom and dad just dropped him off and, you know, spiked his mohawk, and the kid just like, you know, thinks, get away from me, you old pervert, you know.
Right,
like,
right, exactly.
Holy shit.
Your mom and dad took them to the salon to get the mohawk.
Right,
you know.
right. Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a mom.
Well, you and the band made things really easy for people nowadays. Somebody had to take the brunt of it. To begin with.
Nice. That's nice. Maybe we should charge tax.
Yeah.
All these kids get mohawks. A mohawk's tax. Everyone gets their Little Richard and stuff. You know, couldn't even, you know, ride in a car. You know, back in the day.
Right.
Or use a bathroom and stuff. And he, you know, set the bar, and Chuck Berry and all those guys, man. And it's just like, you know, like Patti Smith said, you know. And there's one song that got banned all over the place, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, so it's true, you know. You know, Jimi Hendrix, you know. There we go. Go find it if you've never heard it before. It's a good song.
Look it up, kids.
Yeah.